The 1% Morning. Small wins, big results. Introduction. The power of the morning. There's something sacred about the early hours. Before the emails start pinging. Before the to-do lists take over. Before the world asks anything from you, there's a window. A quiet moment that belongs entirely to you. It's in that space, the morning, where the most powerful habits are born. Ask almost any high performer, entrepreneur, or athlete, and you'll hear the same thing. Mornings matter more than we think. Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter and Square, starts his day with meditation and a quick workout. Oprah Winfrey carves out quiet time each morning for reflection and intention. Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, wakes up at 3:45 a.m. to get a head start on his day. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. They don't all follow the same formula, but they share the same truth. The way you start your day shapes the way you show up. This audiobook is about reclaiming your mornings, not with hustle or hype, but with simple, powerful habits that compound over time. That's where the 1% principle comes in. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. You just need to improve by 1% consistently. Because 1% better each day doesn't just add up, it multiplies. In fact, if you got just 1% better every morning for an entire year, 365 days, you wouldn't be 365% better. You'd be over 37 times better. That's the power of compounding improvement. Small actions done daily lead to massive change. Drink a glass of water. Write down 3 goals. Move your body for 5 minutes. Center your mind with 1 deep breath. Tiny actions repeated daily lead to massive results. This audiobook is your blueprint. You'll discover science-backed morning habits for energy, focus, and momentum. Real-world routines from top performers and thinkers. Quick wins for when you're short on time. Full hour-long rituals for those ready to go deeper. And a 30-day challenge to help you lock it in for good. Whether you're a busy parent, an entrepreneur, or just someone trying to get a little more control back in your day, this is for you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do it all. You just have to start. One small win at a time. One morning at a time. Welcome to the 1% Morning. Chapter 1. Reclaiming your morning. Why it all starts here. Most people don't lose their day at 2 p.m. They lose it in the first 10 minutes after waking up. You wake up late. Scroll your phone. Rush through breakfast if you eat at all. Then the emails hit. The kids need something. You're already behind. And from there, it's damage control. You didn't plan it that way. But your day got hijacked before it even began. The hidden cost of mornings on autopilot. Here's the truth. If you don't own your morning, something else will. Your phone, your stress, your inbox, the mood you woke up in. And once your day is running on someone else's terms, it's hard to get back control. That's because the morning is when your brain is freshest. It's your one shot at starting from zero, clean, undistracted, and full of potential. But that window doesn't stay open long. And if you waste it, you waste your sharpest, most creative self. The psychology of habit loops and decision fatigue. Your brain is wired for routine. That's a good thing. Habits free up your mental energy. But here's the catch. Your brain doesn't care what the habit is. It just wants predictability. If your habit is to hit snooze 3 times, scroll Instagram, then chug coffee and race out the door, your brain says, "Great, let's do it again tomorrow." That's how we fall into habit loops. Every repeated behavior gets wired in deeper. Eventually, it doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like your personality. But it's not. It's a pattern. And the more choices you delay or rush through in the morning, the more mental energy you drain. That's called decision fatigue, and it's real. It's why Barack Obama famously wore the same suits every day. Not because he didn't care, but because he didn't want to waste brain power choosing an outfit. He saved that energy for real decisions. Your mornings should do the same. It should automate your success. How high performers protect their mornings. Successful people don't leave their mornings to chance. They guard them like sacred ground. They have rules, routines, rituals, not because they're rigid, but because they know the cost of starting the day reactive. Oprah starts with stillness and gratitude. Tim Cook is in the gym before dawn. Jack Dorsey meditates, journals, and does a high-intensity bodyweight workout, all before breakfast. These aren't random habits. They're systems for starting the day with clarity, energy, and intention. They don't wait for motivation. They build momentum. That's the key difference. The science of morning mindset and energy. When you wake up, your brain is highly impressionable. Cortisol levels are naturally elevated, which means you're more alert, but also more sensitive to stress. What you do in the first 30 minutes sets the tone for the rest of your day. That's not woo-woo, it's biology. Start with chaos and clutter. You prime your brain for overwhelm. Start with calm and control. You prime it for focus. Your morning also impacts your dopamine system, the motivation chemical. When you knock out a small win early, like journaling, stretching, or completing a task, dopamine is released. And dopamine builds momentum. You start chasing more wins. It's a feedback loop. Win your morning, feel productive, act productive, get results, feel even more motivated. And it all starts with your first choice of the day. Your morning as a launch pad. You don't need a perfect morning. You just need a consistent one. One that anchors your focus, sparks your energy, moves you forward even by 1%. Your morning is not the warm-up. It's the launch pad. If you can win those first 20 to 60 minutes, even in a small way, you flip the script. You stop reacting and start leading. You shift from autopilot to intention. The rest of this book will show you exactly how to do that, from 5-minute wins to full hour-long routines. But before we jump into the how, remember this. The most powerful shift you can make isn't in your schedule. It's in your mindset. The belief that your morning is yours, not something to survive, but something to own. That belief, it changes everything. Chapter 2. The 5-minute wins, starting small, thinking big. Let's be honest. Sometimes you don't have an hour. You don't even have 30 minutes. Maybe you hit snooze too many times. Or your kid threw up. Or you just woke up in a fog. That's life. But here's the good news. You don't need a perfect morning to have a powerful one. You just need a win. And you can create one in 5 minutes or less. We're not talking about life-changing, Instagram-worthy routines here. We're talking about tiny victories, simple actions that take almost no time but give you clarity, momentum, and control. They may be small, but they send a big message. I showed up today. Let's walk through 5 of the most powerful 5-minute wins you can start using tomorrow morning, or even today. 1. Drink water. Reboot your system. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Even mild dehydration makes you foggy, irritable, and sluggish. The fix? 1 glass of water. Right away. It wakes up your organs, flushes out toxins, and improves alertness and energy almost instantly. In fact, studies show that drinking water in the morning improves cognitive function and mood, especially working memory and focus. It's free, it's easy, and it works. Make it the first thing you do when you wake up. Before coffee, before your phone, before anything else. That's your first win. 2. Gratitude journaling. Rewire your brain for positivity. Negativity is the brain's default setting. Gratitude is how you change the channel. You don't need a fancy notebook or long entry. Just grab a pen and write down 3 things you're thankful for. Big or small. A warm bed. A quiet morning. The fact that you didn't quit yesterday. Why does this matter? Because research shows gratitude increases happiness, lowers stress and anxiety, improves sleep and emotional resilience. It literally rewires your brain to look for the good. And when you start your day with that lens, you see opportunities instead of obstacles. You feel lighter, stronger, more grounded. That's your second win. 3. Deep breathing or 2-minute meditation. Calm the noise. Most of us wake up already tense. Our thoughts race before our feet hit the floor. What do I have to do today? What did I forget yesterday? But your brain wasn't built to operate in chaos. It was built to function best from a place of clarity. That's where intentional breathing comes in. Take just 2 minutes. Sit, close your eyes, and breathe. Try a simple rhythm. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Repeat. Or use an app. Or just sit in silence. This isn't about being Zen. It's about controlling your state. When you breathe slowly, your heart rate drops. Your nervous system calms. Your thoughts slow down. You create space before the day fills it up. That's your third win. 4. Move your body, wake it up. Energy isn't something you wait for. It's something you generate. And one of the fastest ways to do that is to move. No need for a gym or a change of clothes. Just 1 to 5 minutes of light movement. 20 jumping jacks. 10 push-ups. A quick stretch. A 1-song dance party. Seriously, movement increases blood flow and oxygen to your brain. It boosts dopamine and focus. And it tells your body, we're on. Let's go. You don't need to break a sweat, just break the inertia. That's your fourth win. 5. 3-task day planning. Get clear before you get busy. Most people start their day reacting to email, texts, the noise. But successful people start with clarity. Take 2 to 3 minutes and write down your top 3 priorities for the day. Not a 20-task to-do list. Just 3. These are your MITs, your most important tasks. The stuff that, if done, would make the day a win. This one habit alone can reduce overwhelm, improve focus, increase follow-through, and it helps you say no to distractions because you've already said yes to what matters. That's your 5th win. Stacking the wins, momentum over motivation. Here's where the magic happens. Stack them. You don't need to do all 5 right away, but you can layer them over time. Start with water. Add gratitude. Next week, try breathing. Then a stretch. Then a to-do list. Each habit only takes a minute or 2, but together they become a morning momentum machine. No willpower needed. Just rhythm. Just a series of small wins that say, I'm in control. I'm moving forward. I've already won today. And that's how you change your life. Not with one big move, but with 1% wins every morning. Chapter 3. 15 to 30 minutes. Building your morning stack. If 5-minute wins give you momentum, 15 to 30 minutes give you transformation. This is the sweet spot. It's long enough to create meaningful change, short enough to fit almost any schedule. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. to make it work. You just need to own a slice of your morning before the world starts making demands. Because in just 15 to 30 minutes, you can activate your body, clear your mind, set the tone for everything that follows. These aren't small wins anymore, they're a stacked advantage. Let's walk through how to use this window of time to your full benefit. What you can achieve in 30 minutes or less. This isn't about cramming in more to-dos. It's about stacking a short sequence of high-leverage habits that energize you, calm your mind, and direct your day. This short block can lower stress, increase energy and mental clarity, improve mood and motivation, anchor your day in purpose. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters in a focused order that builds momentum. The 3-part formula: move, reflect, plan. Simple and effective. This is your framework. 1. Move, wake up your body. 2. Reflect, set your mindset. 3. Plan, focus your day. Each can be done in 5 to 20 minutes, depending on your time and preference. Let's look at a few ways to put it into action. Routine example 1, the 10/5/5 formula. Total time, 20 minutes. 10 minutes of movement. A quick workout, bodyweight circuit, jump rope, yoga, or a walk. 5 minutes of journaling. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, or do a brain dump. 5 minutes of planning. Identify your top 3 tasks for the day, your non-negotiables. Fast, clear, and energizing. Ideal for early meetings or chaotic mornings. Routine example 2, the 20/10 flow. Total time, 30 minutes. 20 minutes of mindful movement. Yoga, mobility work, or strength training with intentional breathing. 10 minutes of reflection and clarity. 5 minutes of meditation or silence. 5 minutes reviewing goals or writing a single paragraph on what success looks like today. This routine helps you slow down while moving forward, great for those who want peace before productivity. Routine example 3, the focus and fuel stack. Total time, 25 to 30 minutes. 15 minutes of light cardio or strength. Enough to break a sweat or elevate your heart rate. 5 minutes of breathing or cold exposure. Breathing drills, cold shower, or face splash to reset stress. 5 to 10 minutes of day prep. Quick journaling, reviewing your calendar, or visualizing your big win of the day. Use this when you need energy and composure. It's a powerful reset for high-stakes work. Why habit stacking works? Your brain loves patterns. When you repeat habits in the same order each day, your brain builds automatic pathways, requiring less mental effort and reducing resistance. This is called habit stacking. You take something you already do, like making coffee, and follow it with a new behavior. Over time, it becomes a seamless part of your rhythm. The real power comes from how these habits support each other. Movement improves focus. Reflection calms your system. Planning provides clarity and action. Together, they form a foundation that makes everything else in your day easier. Real-life examples from busy professionals. A tech founder wakes at 6:30, does 10 minutes of kettlebells, 5 minutes of gratitude journaling, and lists his 3 main outcomes for the day. By 7 o'clock, he's focused, calm, and ready to lead. A working mother of 2 starts at 5:45 with 15 minutes of yoga, followed by quiet journaling and planning while the house is still quiet. She says it's the only time she feels fully in control. A sales rep on the road keeps a resistance band and pocket journal in his luggage. His morning stack includes 10 minutes of movement, 5 minutes of box breathing, and a handwritten checklist of goals for the day, no matter the hotel room. They're not chasing perfection. They're protecting intentional space, and the payoff is enormous. You don't need more time. You need a better start. If you have 15 to 30 minutes, you have enough time to invest in your health, prime your mindset, set a focused direction for your day. This window can transform how you show up, not just for work, but for life. And once it becomes routine, it's no longer something you try to do. It's just part of who you are. In the next chapter, we'll go deeper into the full 60-minute ritual, a complete morning system used by some of the world's most successful people. You don't have to use all of it, but once you see what's possible, you'll be equipped to build the version that works for you. Let's build your personal power hour. Chapter 4, the 1-hour morning, routines of the greats. 1 hour. That's all it takes to dramatically change the trajectory of your day, and eventually your life. The most successful people in the world don't leave their mornings to luck. They design them with purpose. And for many, that means carving out a full hour before the world gets noisy. This chapter is your blueprint for creating a 1-hour morning routine, inspired by some of the most proven, popular, and personalized systems out there. Whether you want to copy what works or customize your own, this hour is your time to take control of your energy, your mindset, and your goals before the day starts asking for everything else. Let's begin with two powerful, structured approaches that thousands have used successfully: Robin Sharma's 20/20/20 formula and Hal Elrod's Savers method. Robin Sharma's 20/20/20 formula. Robin Sharma, best known for the 5 a.m. Club, built his morning model around one core belief: own your morning, elevate your life. His routine breaks the first hour of the day into 3 20-minute blocks. 1. Move 20 minutes. Get your heart rate up. Running, cycling, bodyweight circuits, yoga. The goal is to sweat and release endorphins, dopamine, and BDNF, a brain chemical that supports learning and mental sharpness. 2. Reflect 20 minutes. After movement, you pause. This is your time for meditation, journaling, or prayer. You process emotions, check in with your goals, and gain clarity. 3. Grow 20 minutes. The final block is for learning. Read a book, listen to a podcast, review notes, or study something that feeds your growth. This sharpens your skills and mindset before work even begins. The strength of this formula is in its balance: physical, emotional, and intellectual development, all in one compact hour. You move your body, you center your mind, and you sharpen your mind. It's simple, it's scalable, and it works. Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning, Savers. Hal Elrod created the Savers method after surviving a near-fatal car crash and rebuilding his life. His morning routine became the foundation for both his recovery and his success. Savers is an acronym for 6 practices: silence, meditation, breathing, or prayer; affirmations, speaking or writing empowering beliefs; visualization, mentally rehearsing your goals and ideal outcomes; exercise, moving your body in any way; reading, learning something new or inspiring; scribing, journaling thoughts, lessons, or plans. Elrod recommends dedicating around 5 to 10 minutes to each, making this another structured 60-minute option. The strength of Savers is how it touches every aspect of who you are: your body, mind, focus, beliefs, and personal growth. It's a full system upgrade, all before breakfast. Designing your own 1-hour routine, the 30/15/15 split. While the 20/20/20 and Savers methods offer great structure, some people prefer a more personalized approach. One option is the 30/15/15 model. 30 minutes movement. This gives you time for a full workout, whether that's strength training, yoga, cardio, or something outdoors. 15 minutes mindset reset. You might do meditation, journaling, prayer, or reading a devotional. This is time to slow down before speeding up. 15 minutes intentional planning. Review your calendar. Set your top goals. Reflect on long-term progress. This is where you bring structure to your ambition. This version works especially well if your mornings need a little flexibility, but you still want a full routine that hits all the essentials. No matter which framework you choose, the outcome is the same. You leave your house with clarity, energy, and focus before the day can rob you of it. Real examples: how the greats use their hour. Michelle Obama famously woke at 4:30 a.m. during her White House years so she could fit in a full workout before the chaos of the day. That time, she said, wasn't just about health. It was the 1 hour that belonged solely to her. Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter and Square, would begin his morning with 1 hour of meditation, followed by a bodyweight workout and a 5-mile walk to work. He said this gave him both mental clarity and physical stamina, crucial for running 2 companies. Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek, treats his morning as a testing lab. His hour often includes meditation, journaling, exercise, and drinking strong tea, a balance of stillness and stimulation. He's found that consistency, not perfection, is what makes the routine work. Each one is different, but each one is intentional. The common thread? They start their day with ownership, not obligation. How to build your own power hour. Here's how to design a 60-minute routine that works for you. 1. Start with your non-negotiables. What practices make you feel alive, grounded, and prepared? List them first. This could be movement, stillness, reading, prayer, journaling, or planning. 2. Assign time blocks. Break the hour into 2 or 3 focus sections. Don't overpack it. The goal is depth, not speed. Example: 30-minute workout, 15-minute journaling, 15-minute reading. 3. Remove friction. Lay out your clothes. Prep your coffee. Keep your journal in sight. Eliminate excuses before they start. 4. Be consistent, not rigid. If you miss a section or have to shorten your hour, adapt. Don't abandon it. Aim for rhythm, not perfection. 5. Protect it like your most important meeting. Because it is. This is the hour that determines how you show up for every other hour that follows. You don't need to follow anyone else's script, but you do need a plan. Your hour is where discipline meets direction. In the next chapter, we'll take a deeper look at mindset, motivation, and what to do when the morning feels like a fight. Because even with the best routine in place, resistance will show up. Let's talk about how to overcome it. Chapter 5. Mindset over alarm clocks, the inner work. You can have the perfect morning plan, a killer routine, great intentions, all laid out the night before. But if your mindset isn't aligned, none of it sticks. The truth is, mornings aren't won with alarms. They're won with perspective. This chapter isn't about hacks or habits. It's about the mental game. Because the biggest obstacle to consistency isn't time, it's resistance. And if you don't deal with it, even the best strategies won't matter. Reframing mornings, not punishment but power. For a lot of people, mornings feel like a chore, something to survive, something to push through. But that framing kills momentum before it begins. Mornings aren't punishment for ambitious people, they're permission. Permission to lead your day instead of react to it. Permission to put yourself first, your body, your mind, your mission, before the world starts demanding from you. When you see mornings as power, not pressure, you stop dragging your feet and start taking ownership. You don't have to be a morning person. You just have to stop giving your first hour away to chaos. Identity-based habits. Become the type of person who... Most people try to build habits from the outside in, what should I do? What time should I wake up? What app should I use? That's fine, but it rarely lasts. Lasting change happens when you build habits from the inside out. Not what do I do, but who am I becoming? This is the principle of identity-based habits. Instead of saying, I'm trying to wake up early, you say, I'm the kind of person who values a strong, intentional start. Instead of, I'm working out more, you say, I'm someone who takes care of my body before I take care of business. You build the habit by living out the identity, even in small ways. Every time you do it, you reinforce that identity. And the stronger that belief becomes, the less effort the habit takes. This is how routines stick. Not by trying harder, but by becoming someone who doesn't need to try as hard. Motivation versus momentum. Let's settle this. You don't need to feel motivated to have a powerful morning. You need momentum. Motivation is emotional. It's inconsistent. It fades. But momentum is mechanical. It builds. Most people wait until they feel like doing it. High performers start moving and let the feeling catch up. The first 5 minutes of your day are the most important. Not because they'll be magical, but because they get you in motion. Drink the water. Step into the workout. Open the journal. Action leads. Emotion follows. The question isn't, how do I get motivated? It's, what's the smallest action I can take to create forward motion? Visualization and affirmations that actually work. Let's talk about 2 tools often misused. Visualization and affirmations. Used wrong, they're fluff. Used right, they're fuel. Visualization isn't about imagining yachts or dream houses. It's about mental rehearsal, seeing yourself succeed at what you're about to do. Athletes do this constantly. So do public speakers. Why? Because the brain doesn't fully distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. That means when you visualize yourself crushing your morning routine, leading a meeting, or handling stress calmly, your brain builds the neural pathways for that behavior. And when the real moment comes, you're ready. Affirmations work the same way, but only when they're connected to identity and effort. I am becoming someone who wakes up with purpose. I don't need to feel ready to act powerfully. I show up for the life I want, even when it's hard. Those affirmations don't lie to you. They remind you of who you're becoming. Say them out loud. Write them. Repeat them. They're not magic words, they're mental anchors. Overcoming resistance, tiredness, and excuses. Resistance wears many masks. It tells you, I'll start tomorrow. I deserve to sleep in. It's not that big a deal. And sometimes it's right. You may need rest. You may need grace. You may need flexibility. But if that internal voice shows up every day, it's not protecting your energy. It's protecting your comfort. And comfort unchecked becomes a cage. Here's how to push through. Lower the bar. Can't do the full routine? Just do the first step. 1 glass of water. 1 push-up. 1 minute of journaling. Commit to the start. Tell yourself, I don't have to do the full workout, but I have to press play. Tie it to something bigger. Remind yourself, I'm doing this for who I want to become, not how I feel right now. And if you fall off, no shame, no spiral. Just start again tomorrow. Consistency isn't perfection. It's learning to bounce back faster and with less drama. Summary, own the inside first. Mornings don't change your life until your mindset does. Before you build the routine, build the belief that you're the kind of person who shows up. That momentum matters more than motivation. That small wins are how transformation starts. Your alarm can't change your life, but the mindset you wake up with can. In the next chapter, we'll shift gears and talk about energy, how to actually feel better in the morning by managing sleep, light, movement, and nutrition. Because mental discipline matters, but so does physical fuel. Let's talk about energy as your real currency. Chapter 6. Energy, not time, is your real currency. Most people think they have a time problem, but in reality, they have an energy problem. You can wake up with a full calendar and still crash by noon. You can schedule the perfect routine and still feel foggy and flat. The truth is, time is fixed, but energy is flexible and trainable. It's your real currency. And when you manage it right, every part of your morning, from focus to discipline to follow through, gets easier. Let's talk about how to build your mornings around energy, not just effort. The sleep, exercise, light trifecta. Want more energy in the morning? Start with what you did the night before. Sleep, movement, and light are the big 3 when it comes to morning energy. Neglect one, and your morning suffers. Align them, and you create a powerful, natural surge of focus and vitality. 1, sleep. You already know sleep matters, but most people still trade it for productivity. That's backwards. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's performance fuel. Even 1 hour less than you need, consistently, can lower mood, reduce focus, and slow decision-making. For most people, 7 to 9 hours is the sweet spot. And going to bed at the same time every night helps regulate your rhythm even more than waking early. Morning success starts with sleep discipline at night. 2, exercise. Morning movement improves circulation, boosts dopamine, and releases endorphins, all of which kickstart focus and energy. Even 5 to 10 minutes of light movement can raise alertness and reduce morning grogginess. Think push-ups, jumping jacks, yoga, or walking. And the bonus? People who move early tend to make better food and focused choices later in the day. 3, light. Your brain responds powerfully to natural light. Exposure to sunlight in the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking helps set your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates sleep, alertness, and even hormone release. It lowers melatonin, increases cortisol in a good way, and boosts wakefulness. Open your blinds. Step outside. Let your eyes, without sunglasses, take in the morning light for 5 to 10 minutes. It's one of the most underrated energy tools you have. Fueling your brain, hydration and food versus fasting. After sleep, your body is in a natural fasted state. That doesn't mean you have to eat right away, but you do need to replenish the system. Hydration first. Your brain is nearly 75% water. Even slight dehydration impacts memory, focus, and mood. Start every morning with at least 1 glass of water, ideally 2. Want to enhance it? Add a pinch of sea salt or squeeze of lemon for electrolytes and minerals. Hydration isn't optional. It's essential. Food versus fasting. Now let's talk breakfast. Some thrive on a high-protein breakfast. Others do better with intermittent fasting. The key is knowing what fuels you best, not just what the internet says. If you eat in the morning, aim for protein, eggs, Greek yogurt protein shake. Healthy fats or complex carbs, oats, fruit, avocado, nuts. Avoiding processed sugar or refined carbs that spike and crash your blood sugar. If you fast, be sure to hydrate well and consider black coffee or tea to support alertness. Just be honest with yourself. If you're foggy and unfocused without food, you might not be fasting the right way for your current goals. Fuel equals focus. Find what works for your body. Morning sunlight and circadian rhythm. This deserves a deeper look because your circadian rhythm is your energy control system. Here's how it works. Your body has a 24-hour biological clock that regulates when you feel alert and when you feel tired. That clock is primarily synced by light, especially morning light. Sunlight in the morning sends a signal to your brain. It's time to be awake. This also triggers a countdown for melatonin production at night, which helps you sleep better the following evening. In short, get sunlight early equals feel alert now, plus sleep better later. Artificial light, screens, and blinds can throw this off. So if you can step outside, even for 2 to 5 minutes, do it. It's free, fast, and wildly effective. Morning workouts versus evening, what the science says. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to workout timing, but there are trade-offs. Morning workouts tend to increase energy and focus throughout the day. Improve consistency, fewer interruptions. Prime metabolism and mood. Evening workouts tend to result in higher strength performance for some people, help with stress relief after work, occasionally interfere with sleep if done too late. The key is this: the best time to work out is the one you'll actually do. But for mornings specifically, even a short burst of movement, 5 to 20 minutes, can dramatically shift your mental state. It sends a message: I'm in control. I'm moving forward. That alone is worth it. Tools to enhance energy without burnout. Energy is renewable, but only if you're smart about how you spend and restore it. Here are a few tools and strategies that help. Breath work, box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Lowers stress and sharpens focus. Cold exposure, cold showers or face splashes trigger norepinephrine and reduce inflammation. Caffeine timing. Wait 60 to 90 minutes after waking to drink coffee. This avoids crashing your natural cortisol rhythm. Movement snacks. Short bursts of movement during the day, even 2 minutes, keep energy elevated. Digital boundaries. Avoid phone use for the first 30 minutes. Reclaim mental space before consumption. Sleep anchors. Wind down at the same time each night. Avoid bright lights after 9 p.m. and protect your wind-down routine. You don't need to use every tool, just the right ones for your rhythm. Energy is the foundation of consistency. Discipline is easier when you're rested. Focus is easier when your brain is hydrated. Motivation is stronger when your body is moving and your hormones are balanced. If you've ever felt like mornings are a battle of willpower, ask yourself, am I setting myself up with the energy to win? This chapter isn't just about feeling better. It's about building the physical foundation for the mental success you're after. When your body and brain are aligned, everything else becomes easier. In the next chapter, we'll go even deeper into that alignment and talk about the power of environment, ritual, and tiny cues that make consistency automatic. Let's explore how to create surroundings that silently support your morning wins. Chapter 7. The Ritual Effect, Triggers, Cues, and Environment. Willpower is overrated. If you're relying on discipline to carry you through every morning, you'll lose more days than you win. But what if your space did half the work for you? That's the power of rituals, triggers, and environmental design. It's not just about what you do in the morning, it's about what your surroundings tell you to do. In this chapter, we'll unpack how to use simple cues to shift your mindset, anchor your habits, and make your mornings almost automatic. Design your space, tiny rituals that signal action. Your brain is constantly scanning for signals. Whether you notice them or not, your environment is always sending messages. That mug you always use when journaling, that stretch of floor where you roll out your yoga mat, that playlist that only plays during your workouts? These aren't just preferences, they're rituals, and they matter. A ritual is a behavior done with intention and repetition, often anchored to a specific cue. Over time, it becomes a switch. It shifts you from default mode to ready mode. Even small rituals can create huge shifts in how you feel and perform. Examples of ritual cues that work. Here are some easy-to-build rituals that can transform your morning without adding complexity. Lighting a candle before journaling or meditating signals a moment of stillness and focus. Playing a specific playlist during your workout tells your body it's time to move. Opening the blinds and standing by a window primes your brain with light and openness. Pouring your coffee into a designated morning mug becomes a sensory cue for writing, planning, or reflecting. Laying out your clothes the night before mentally commits you to the task ahead. These are all micro-routines, but their power comes from repetition. They reduce friction, eliminate guesswork, and trigger intentional action. Habit cues that build consistency. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, puts it like this: environment is the invisible hand that shapes behavior. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and those systems are built into your surroundings. Want to journal more often? Keep your notebook on top of your phone at night. Want to stretch in the morning? Put your yoga mat where your feet land out of bed. Want to start with prayer or stillness? Place a note on your nightstand. Start with God. Don't make the habit harder than it has to be. Let your space remind you of who you're trying to become. The more visible, frictionless, and immediate the cue, the more likely you are to act. Why making your bed actually works. Let's settle this. Yes, making your bed matters. And no, it's not about neatness. Admiral William McRaven, in his famous commencement speech, said it best. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It gives you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. It's a keystone habit, a small action that leads to larger momentum. Why does it work? It's immediate. It's visible. It signals discipline and order. It closes the gap between intention and action. And even if the rest of the day unravels, you come home to a simple reminder: you started with excellence. Whether it's making your bed, lighting a candle, pressing play on your workout playlist, the key isn't the action itself. It's the message you send to your brain. I'm in control. I show up. I follow through. That's how consistency is built, not by trying harder, but by thinking smarter. Your environment is a silent coach. You don't need more motivation. You need more signals, more visual cues, more intentional spaces, more sensory reminders that tell your brain, this is who we are. This is what we do. Design your space to support the person you're becoming, not the habits you're trying to leave behind. And remember, ritual isn't about perfection. It's about creating rhythm, a sense of stability, a pattern you can rely on. Even when life gets chaotic, your ritual can hold the line. In the next chapter, we'll zoom out and talk about personalization, how to build a morning routine that actually fits your life, not just someone else's schedule. Because no matter how inspiring these examples are, the best morning routine is the one you'll keep coming back to. Chapter 8. Personalizing your routine for life. The best morning routine isn't the one that sounds impressive. It's the one that fits. It fits your season. It fits your energy. It fits your responsibilities, your values, your life. The truth is, routines are meant to evolve. What works for a single entrepreneur might not work for a parent of 3. What works in the summer might not work in the dark of winter. What works this year might be impossible next year. And that's okay. This chapter is about building a routine that serves you, not one you serve. One that can bend and flex with your life without breaking. How to test, adjust, and evolve your morning. Let go of the idea that you'll find a perfect routine once and stick with it forever. Instead, think like a scientist. Test a version of your routine for a week. Observe what works and what creates friction. Tweak and retest until you find something sustainable. Ask yourself, what gives me the most energy? What helps me feel grounded? What do I actually look forward to doing in the morning? What's draining or unrealistic? The goal isn't to follow someone else's structure. It's to find a rhythm that makes you feel clear, focused, and in control. Even 5 minutes of intentional action is better than 30 minutes of guilt or overwhelm. Adapting routines to seasons, travel, kids, and career shifts. Your morning needs to be built with change in mind, because real life happens. A newborn starts waking up early. Your job switches to night shifts. You travel across time zones. Winter arrives and your 6 a.m. run becomes a 6 a.m. blizzard. Instead of forcing your old routine through your new reality, adapt with intention. Traveling? Create a portable version. A 10-minute stretch in the hotel room. A gratitude list on your phone. A quick bodyweight workout using a timer app. New baby in the house. Shift to micro-routines. 5-minute windows while the house is quiet. Prayer while feeding. Planning while the coffee brews. Busy season at work. Focus on the one habit that grounds you, even if it's just 3 minutes. Consistency doesn't mean rigid repetition. It means showing up in a way that works today, even if that looks different from yesterday. Templates for different lifestyles. Here are a few adaptable morning templates, not to copy exactly, but to spark ideas based on where you're at. The Parent Power Routine, 20 minutes. 10 minutes of movement, walk, yoga, push-ups beside the crib. 5 minutes of gratitude or prayer. 5 minutes planning while packing lunches or sipping coffee. The Remote Worker Reset, 30 minutes. 10 minutes journaling with no screen time. 10 minutes focused reading or learning. 10 minutes walking or stretching outdoors to anchor your day. The Student Clarity Routine, 15 to 25 minutes. 5 minutes reviewing your schedule. 10 minutes mindfulness or breath work. 10 minutes reading a book not for school, just to learn. Your life will shape your routine, but your routine can also shape your life. So instead of chasing what others are doing, ask, what does my current season require? The 3-tier method: minimum, ideal, ultimate. One of the best ways to stay consistent, especially through changing circumstances, is to create tiers of your routine. Here's how it works. Tier 1, the minimum routine. Your non-negotiables. Takes 3 to 10 minutes. Even on bad days, you can do this. Example: drink water. Say a quick prayer. Write down one priority. Tier 1 is your I'm exhausted but I'm still showing up routine. Tier 2, the ideal routine. This is your typical balanced morning. Takes 20 to 40 minutes. You do this most days. Example, 10-minute workout, 5-minute journaling, 10-minute goal setting, 10-minute reading or prayer. It's flexible, solid, and sustainable. Tier 3, the ultimate routine. Your full, high-performance version. Takes 60+ minutes. You do this on weekends, vacations, or days when you have more space. Example, full workout, long meditation, detailed journaling, strategic review and weekly planning, learning or spiritual study. The magic of this system is that it gives you permission to adjust without quitting. You're never off track, you're just shifting tiers based on the day. And that flexibility leads to long-term consistency. Your routine, your rules. There's no prize for having the most impressive morning routine. Only results that compound or routines that collapse. So here's your job. Know your season. Be honest about what's realistic. Choose what energizes and anchors you. Build a routine that you're proud of, not because it looks good on paper, but because it works for you. In the next chapter, we'll pull it all together with a 30-day challenge. You've got the tools. Now, let's turn insight into action. Chapter 9. The Morning Plus the Mission, Connecting Purpose. Discipline is powerful, but without purpose, it eventually breaks down. You can force yourself out of bed for a while. You can push through a workout. You can check the boxes. But if there's no deeper reason, no why behind the routine, it won't last. That's why the most meaningful morning routines aren't just systems of productivity. They're moments of alignment. Your morning is your daily chance to remember who you are, what you're working toward, and why it matters. Without that, you'll still move, but you might not make real progress. Discipline is a tool, not the foundation. Discipline gets you started, but purpose keeps you coming back. When excitement fades, when motivation dips, when you're tired or stressed, the question isn't, can I stay disciplined? The real question is, do I still believe this matters? If your only reason for waking early is to be more productive, that works, until you burn out. But if your reason is to be present for your kids, to build something meaningful, to honor your faith or values, to become the kind of person who follows through, now you're rooted in something deeper than willpower. Purpose is what turns a task into a calling. Mornings are sacred. Make them reflect that. The early hours are often the only time you truly have to yourself. No demands, no noise, no expectations. Use that space to reconnect with what matters. Read something that grounds you. Journal about your vision or fears or hopes. Reflect on a big goal you've set. Ask, what would make today meaningful? Even 5 minutes of purpose-driven reflection can reframe your entire day. Because when you start with intention, you make better choices. You resist distractions. You recover faster when you get off course. You're not just surviving your schedule. You're living on purpose. Aligning your routine with your long-term mission. Your morning routine should be more than just efficient. It should be aligned. That means the actions you take in the morning are in sync with who you want to become, what you want to contribute, how you want to feel and show up. If your long-term mission is to become a calm, focused leader, then rushing through emails first thing probably doesn't support that. If your mission is to write a book, then spending 10 minutes writing in silence might matter more than 30 minutes scrolling. If your mission is to be healthy for your family, then starting your day with movement isn't just exercise, it's integrity. Ask yourself, does my morning routine support my values, or just fill my calendar? Real progress is when your habits and your mission are moving in the same direction. Movement versus progress. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean you're moving forward. You can be active every morning and still feel stuck. You can check off habits and still feel empty. That's the difference between movement and progress. Movement is about activity. Progress is about direction. They're not the same. The right question isn't, how much did I do this morning? It's, did what I do bring me closer to who I want to be? You don't need more noise, more checklists, or more pressure. You need alignment, habits that actually serve your mission. And that mission doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be yours. Your morning as a mirror. Your morning doesn't just prepare you for the day. It reflects how you see yourself. Are you reacting or responding? Are you surviving or creating? Are you aligned with your deeper mission or just chasing motion? Every morning is a chance to return to the person you're becoming, to live with intention, to move with purpose, to lead from within. This is where routine becomes rhythm, and rhythm becomes identity. In the final chapter, we'll pull everything together and walk through a 30-day challenge to help you live this out for real. You've learned the strategies. Now it's time to build the streak. Chapter 10, 30-Day Challenge, Win the Morning. You've got the tools. You've seen the routines. You know what's possible. Now it's time to make it real. This final chapter is a 30-day challenge designed to help you build a consistent, personalized morning routine, one that works for your life, your goals, and your current season. No perfection, no pressure, just progress, 1% at a time. How the 30-day challenge works. You'll choose one of 3 tiers, each one crafted around your available time and energy. 1. The 5-minute wins routine. 2. The 30-minute builder. 3. The 1-hour mastery routine. You can switch tiers based on the day. That's not failure. That's flexibility. The goal is to build a rhythm, not chase a streak of perfection. You'll also have a printable or digital tracker, simple journal prompts to check in with yourself, a reflection point every 7 days to realign and reset. This challenge isn't about intensity, it's about integrity. Showing up again and again with purpose. Tier 1. The 5-minute wins routine. For the busy, overwhelmed, or just getting started. Pick 3 of the following habits each morning, or repeat the same ones. Drink 1 to 2 glasses of water. Write down 1 to 3 things you're grateful for. Do 20 jumping jacks or 10 push-ups. Set a 1-minute timer and breathe deeply. Write your top 1 to 3 priorities for the day. Stand outside in natural light for 2 minutes. This tier is your baseline, something you can do anywhere, anytime, no matter what. Tier 2, the 30-minute builder. For those ready to layer in movement, reflection, and direction. Example routine: 10 minutes movement, walk, stretch, hit yoga. 5 minutes journaling or prayer. 10 minutes planning or goal review. 5 minutes reading something inspirational. You can build your own version using the move, reflect, plan framework from Chapter 3. This tier is for momentum. It sets your focus and energy for the day. Tier 3, the 1-hour mastery routine. For high performers, weekend warriors, or those in a focus season. Choose from one of these templates. Option A, Robin Sharma's 20/20/20 formula. 20 minutes movement, 20 minutes reflection, 20 minutes learning. Option B, the custom 30/15/15 split. 30 minutes workout or walk. 15 minutes journaling, breathing, or prayer. 15 minutes calendar review, planning, or deep reading. Option C, Hal Elrod Savers. Silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, scribing. 5 to 10 minutes each. This tier is about alignment and mastery. It's not for every day, but it's a game changer when you can commit to it. Journal prompts for weekly reflection. At the end of each week, take 5 to 10 minutes to reflect with these prompts. What part of my routine felt most energizing this week? What habit did I resist and why? What small shift could make next week easier or more enjoyable? Did my morning align with who I want to become? You can write, record a voice note, or just think through these over a cup of coffee. The goal isn't deep analysis, it's self-awareness. Progress comes from reflection. Tracking wins without perfectionism. Consistency isn't doing the same thing every day. It's showing up in some form, especially on the hard days. So instead of all or nothing thinking, use the check the box method. Did I complete tier 1, 2, or 3 today? Mark it. Did I do at least one intentional habit? That counts. Did I start the day with purpose, even for a moment? That's a win. Keep a wall calendar, notebook, or habit tracker. Cross off each day. Celebrate the streak, but don't mourn the miss. If you skip a day, don't skip twice. Reset tomorrow. No guilt. No delay. 1 skipped day is human. 2 is a pattern. 3 becomes a story. You choose which one you tell. Final thought, this is just the beginning. This challenge isn't about mornings. It's about momentum. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, your attention, and your identity before the world starts pulling at it. It's about showing up imperfectly, consistently, and intentionally. That's the 1% principle. Small wins, big results. If you finish this 30-day challenge, you won't just have a routine. You'll have a rhythm, a foundation, a quiet confidence that you can build on in your health, your work, your mindset, your life. Your morning is your launch pad, and now it's yours. Conclusion: make every morning a 1% investment. You don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to own your morning, one small step at a time. Let's review what we've covered. You learned that mornings matter more than most people realize. They shape your mindset, energy, and direction for the day. You saw how 5-minute wins, like hydrating, breathing, or writing down a goal, can spark momentum before the world even wakes up. You built out 15 to 30-minute morning stacks for movement, clarity, and focus, practical routines for real life. You explored 1-hour power rituals used by some of the most successful people on the planet. You learned that mindset matters more than motivation, and that small habits rooted in identity and purpose go further than willpower ever will. You took a deep dive into energy as the real currency, learning how sleep, light, and fuel make your habits easier to follow. You designed your environment, leveraged cues and rituals, and adapted your routine to fit your lifestyle, not someone else's blueprint. You aligned your morning with your mission, your long-term goals and values, so your routine isn't just productive, it's meaningful. And you walked through a 30-day challenge to put all into practice, with flexibility, reflection, and a system that doesn't break when life gets messy. That's not just a toolkit. That's a foundation. The compound effect of showing up. The 1% morning isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. 1 intentional habit a day. 1 quiet victory. 1 micro decision that says, I care about who I'm becoming. I take responsibility for how I show up. I choose action over autopilot. These choices compound. You won't see the change in 1 week, but in 1 month, 1 year. The difference is staggering. It's not just about productivity. It's about identity. When you show up every morning, even in a small way, you're casting votes for the person you want to become. And over time, those votes add up. That's how real growth happens, not through radical overhauls, but through steady, quiet ownership. Final encouragement: it's not about time, it's about you. Don't let the clock intimidate you. You don't need an hour. You don't need to wake up before the sun. You just need to decide. Decide that your mornings matter. Decide that your future is worth 5 minutes of intentional effort. Decide that your habits are a reflection of your values, not your circumstances. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming present, and powerful, and consistent, and grounded in purpose. So whether you start with water, breath, movement, or stillness, start. Because the morning isn't just another part of your day. It's the part where you lead yourself. 1 small win at a time. This is your invitation. Your reset button. Your launch pad. Welcome to the 1% Morning.